Hi, hello guys. My name's Evelyn Ray, and this is my first live YouTube broadcast. I've gone live on Twitter before on Periscope, but then I'm kind of shadow banned, so I haven't gone live for a while. I'm just sat on a beanbag. I don't actually have a chair. I don't know if you can hear the music in the background because I did try before and you couldn't hear it, so I don't know if you guys can hear it. But I meant to broadcast that I'm going live, but I haven't because I'm a bit nervous, and so I haven't told anyone. So I've got no viewers. So I will release this link once it's finished. So what I'm talking about today is my camping experience in Dorset, in Weymouth, Dorset. I just got to turn this music. Actually, I like this bit. If you can actually hear it, or just see me doing this. So I was going to say, tell me if you can hear the song in the background, but no one's hearing. Okay. This song is by Country Rebel, Struggle Jennings, and Caitlin Curtis. I hope I've said that right, but it's a brilliant tune. When I have a favourite tune, I just play it on repeat. It probably drives the neighbours mad, just going round and round. And then it's just like having too much McDonald's, and you just get sick of it, don't you? Let me just pause the song. I've actually got no viewers. I don't mind. I just talk to myself, but I will release the link once it's out there. So yeah, so my name's Evelyn Ray, and I live in a small, quaint town called Torbay in Devon in the United Kingdom, and it's very cute, and it's like a mini Florida, but not quite the weather. I mean, it's freezing actually. I've shut the window, and my clothes normally take 2 hours to dry in the summer. They're taking 3 days, which is annoying because we're supposed to be at climate change. So they're still taking time to dry. I don't know where I'm meant to be looking. I'm looking at myself, but I'm looking at you, but I'm just like, oh. So I've got autism. So if I just wander off or daydream, just bear with me. So yeah, so I went camping in Weymouth, Dorset. I have been camping. It's my first holiday since 2020 because I went to Devise. When did I go? It was ages ago. I've not had a holiday for ages because I couldn't travel abroad, and all my family and friends were traveling abroad, and I was stuck here because I've not had the vaccine. So I was stuck here, which is fine because I get to see some parts of the UK, but I didn't because I don't know, because you can't travel on your own. Well, I used to, but I'm a bit more, don't do that as much anymore. So I told my family I was going to abroad, and my sister at the moment is in Florida with her boyfriend, so that's nice. Anyway, back to topic, Weymouth. So I stayed in this Sea View, I think it is, and it's all right. It's a bit loud at night, and there's a lot of kids that don't go to bed at 7 or 8 because they're on holiday. They went to bed about, I don't know, sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning. There's all different sounds. With a tent, you can just hear everything. Everything's it's ambient. It's more you can hear the winds. My parents snoring, the next tent snoring. Those I don't know. Yeah, you get my gist. But it's okay, but it's cold. But because we've got like a big dome. We had a big dome tent, so you can stand up in it, and had a big air bed. I said, "Oh, is that my bed?" But I got this little thing. But because my parents put the tent up on a slant, so their bed was flat, so my bed was going in. So I started off here, and by the night, my bed was doing this. So I was sleeping like this, and I've already got a wry neck because of my health. We don't want to talk about that, but so I've got a wry neck. So I was like this. Mum's like, "Why are you doing that? Like, so you'll stay like that?" I said, "Because I'm sleeping like this, because I'm like this." And so that was fun. I love camping. I've always loved camping, and I want to do wild camping. I did Rally International when I was younger, where we had to do this exercise on, I think it was on Dartmoor, and then you go to Ghana. So I'm a very like outside chick. So I like the outdoors, and oh, I've got one viewer. Hi. Wow, I'm so popular. You can comment and stuff. I don't know where I'm meant to be looking. I keep looking at myself and the camera. But if you can comment and say hi, unless you want to be anonymous, that's fine. Yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so about the slug. So we have this slug. Well, I have this slug in the garden I'm very fond of, and I've called it Bird because it's always there. It's not meant to be there, but only it's meant to be there when it's raining. But it's always there when I'm sat outside, which I don't do much now. But it's there. This little thing that slithers along and leaves is like a snot trail. So it's interesting. I don't know what it means. Maybe it means that they've got Dory syndrome and they need to see it to get back. But it's interesting because I always thought the slug, well, I call it bear, was a snail without the shell, but it's not. Hi. I don't know who's watching, but I've got one viewer. Oh my God. Anyway, if you want me to talk about stuff, just comment below. But I do have autism. There's some stuff I might not talk about because it's too red tape. So we don't want to go in there. But if you want me to talk about something, I might do it on my next. I'll get more confident as I go because I've been through a lot of bad health. We don't want to get the violins out because loads of people at the moment. I mean, I'm meant to be talking about Weymouth, aren't I? I'm just ranting on. Yeah, there's this woman today because I went to get some medicine, and she was an old woman in boots, and she was standing there and she was asking for help because she took about 2 hours. No, she didn't get through to doctors, but she was standing there asking the boots woman, and she was very abrupt to this old woman. And I was like, I'm going to say something in a minute, but I don't want to get kicked out of boots. So she was very I shouldn't be saying this online. Oh no. Oh, anyway, I had to engage my brain before my mouth. No, that's the right way. I engage my mouth before my brain. But anyway, she was very hostile, and I was like, you're obviously a menopausal woman. That's not very nice, and like to an elderly woman, that's like nearly in tears, wanting help. She had problems. I don't want to speak about it, but she was, asking for help. She can't get through the doctors because I find in poor demographic areas it's really hard to get hold of the doctors, and you have to do online. I think because everything's going. Hang on, don't worry about that. Anyway, I was going to say everything's going AI, but that's just going to like whoop. So in the future, it'll be more like when you go into checkouts, it won't be people there. There would just be checkouts with because the globalist elites want it to get down the population down, and they think AIs is the future. Or that's it, AIs. Okay, right. Okay. So what was I talking about? I've gone blank. I'm getting excited because I'm actually talking to one person. Yeah. So anyway, back to Weymouth, Dorset. So it's a beautiful. I don't know if anyone's been there, or that one person that's watching me has been there. It's a beautiful Jurassic coast, and it is so beautiful. I mean, because in Devon, it's red mud, and people like come over from like USA, and they go, "That's amazing, red mud." I'm like, yeah, it's really hard to get off clothes. Like, yeah, that's amazing. I'm like, no, it's really hard to get off clothes. But when I went to Dorset, because I take the red mud for granted because it's quite rare, I think the white coast it just took my I just love it. It looks beautiful, and because I don't see that much. The only time I saw that was in I think it was in the Isle of Wight because I worked in Harcourt Sands for 6 months, and I was actually quite amazed that the beach is man-made. So underneath it was stone, so it was all man-made, and I was quite surprised. It's all nice white sand, and I was quite amazed by that. I didn't know that, so they've imported it from somewhere. And all the red squirrels, because I don't see red squirrels, and they're all full of red squirrels. But disease killed them out, not the grey Americans, which you're told. I said I'm only going to be on this for 10 minutes. I don't know where the time is. Oh, so I've done 10 minutes. I haven't talked about Dorset yet, have I? Oh yeah, so we went to. I've got notes. So I need to look what because my comprehension skills are faster than my mouth, my brain, so it sometimes comes out wrong. So yeah, me and my family went to Portland Castle, and it's a beautiful castle. I don't want to give too much away because it's like spoilers, and it's like I don't like when you're watching a film. I don't want people to tell me too much because I'll get like, oh, I'm not watching it now. So it's a beautiful castle. some of it, most of it's not there, but it's like the architecture and all that is beautiful. And you go up the top. I need an asthma attack because as you get up the top, the air quality is quite. But it's a lovely view of part of Dorset, and it's beautiful. So the history of the castle is it has a lot of in King Edward's time, I think it's 1800s, so it has a lot of rivals with Parliament and the royals. But Edward, bless him, he had an evil stepmother who wanted her son to be power. So one evening, like you do, you thought poor people just have problems, but she actually went and stabbed him with a dagger because she wanted her son to be in power. So that's the history of that. And they've got a massive, like, dragon thing that's made out of like weed and stuff. So that was nice. Camping was fun, but the evacuation alarm kept going off. It went off twice, and once at about 3 o'clock in the morning. And guess who was asleep? It wasn't me. My parents were snoring. Sorry, mum and dad, if you're watching, but your snoring woke up. It wasn't just the evacuation alarm, it was your snoring. And the whole camp was staring at my mum and dad's tent, and they're like, where's that snoring coming from? And I was like, oh no. So that went off, and yeah, it was all fun, and we were all standing out like, what do we do? Do we go out? We're already outside. We just stood there and just laughing at my parents because that went off at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then we had helicopters. We had on the first night we had like the stealth elite helicopter, and then we had behind it a police helicopter. So that was amazing. I caught it, but unfortunately my phone didn't pick up the first one because it's not a very good phone. I need to get a new phone. But on the first one, there's like a shadow of a black helicopter, and then you had a police helicopter. So that was roaming around. So that was interesting. And then we had the fire evacuation going off. There's something I can't speak about as well, so we're not going to go into that. But my holiday went quick, so it just went whoosh. But I definitely want to go wild camping. That's something that I want to do. So I'm getting some kit. So I'm starting to buy like a camouflage tent that you can put leaves or mud over it, so you don't look obviously, so you don't want to, because I'm a woman on my own. I'm going to be camping on my own, so I don't want to have a big orange or Barbie pink tent. So, and obviously for toilet, you would dig a hole. I know I go for too much information. So you would dig a hole from quite a way. You don't want to do it outside your tent. You would do it quite a way to do your doobies and your business in this hole. And then you cover it up like a little rabbit. And then you can either get a filter thing, or you can get these water tablets. You need to be by a lake, a river. Not really, more of a stream actually, and then you can do the water that way. So you camouflage the tent. You have a light. This is quite good. It lasts for ages. Just bear your eyes a second. So that's quite good. It goes up. So it goes quite up, so you can hang it up as well. So you need one of those. You need a little gas thing and a nice titanium cup where you can utilize. Baby wipes as a must, because we forgot to bring them on camping, but luckily we had showers. But if you haven't got that when you haven't got that when I don't drive, so I wouldn't have that. I would just have a rucksack with utilizing the space what I've got. So I wouldn't have a toilet thing that you roll up and a shower in one thing. I'd be like this. I'd be like hunchback. So you have to utilize. Rations for me are expensive. I can't afford that. So I'll be taking baby food and pot noodles and like vitamin. I'm on quite a lot of vitamins, like vitamin tablets. So you'll bring toilet roll. You can just use leaves. It's fine. And you have sanitizer. I don't really like using sanitizer. It's alcohol, but it should be fine. Wet wipes, dig a hole. For a fire, you've got to be careful because I don't want it near the trees. You just have to make sure it's all, everything's out the way. So I think I'll be camping on my own. I think it's somewhere in Exeter where there's a place where no one goes, and there's loads of deers, and it's beautiful, and there's loads of trees. It's on the main road, so I'm like, don't drive. So I'd have to walk along the main road like a weirdo and just try and cut through this forest. And it's got some deers because they constantly run across the road. So somewhere there, and just do one night and probably film it. And that's I'm going to mention some mentions here. That's Funky Prepper, Darren from Funky Prepper. I've watched his video when he went wild camping, and it was amazing. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's really well done. And also, I want to mention Deb's Most Excellent Adventures. Yep, that's a good channel, and you'll see later on Dorset Weymouth, because it's my mum. You'll see that. Yeah, so getting back to the Haven View, it's a nice camp, but there's some people on YouTube that like to get clicks. So they said there's a sister park campsite which you can go up like 10 minutes away, and loads of people are saying you can use the facilities. That's not the case. You can't. You can't. I couldn't use lazy river or lake. And I said, can I pay you £10 because I really want to go on it? And like, no, you can't go on it. I'll pay you 20 then. No, you can't go on it. But we were told on YouTube that you can use it, but you can't. So you can't use Sea View. You can't go to the sister park and use their facilities, but you can use their bar. And you can't. There's no entertainment there. I don't think. It's mainly in my park. The entertainment in my park was good. It's brilliant for kids. I recommend it. It's really good. Everyone's having a fab time, and the drinks are not too I can't even speak. Somebody, they're not too expensive, but they're all right. And it's a nice campsite, and it wasn't too expensive. I didn't pay. My parents felt sorry for me because I've been like a little bit not depressed, but a little bit stressed with things in my personal life. Yeah, so I've just got a relationship in January, so that went a bit awry. So I've had personal problems in my life, like the military been around me for 3 years. I think I've said about that. It's like 7th Brigade and stealth, but they're not doing anything. They tap on my wall. So I don't know whether we're under some sort of convert martial law or something from America from 2020, but they've been consistent. I'm not meant to be talking about this, but it's transparency. And they're obviously, I saw one of them because they said they're military helping to save a woman that's having a heart attack. So that, the military seem to be everywhere. They seem to be in the hospital, plain clothes, seem to be everywhere. So I've got a feeling that we might be under some sort of martial law, because when you're under martial law, you can change the law. You can have the police still in power. You can have the courts still running. So they tap a lot. Like we had a Morse code, like 1 tap means yes, 2 taps means no, 1 taps means, was it no? No, 1 tap is yes, 2 taps is no, 3 taps is I don't know, 6 taps is to go into dark and sit by the wall. 6, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 is to sit by the wall. But most of the guys have come on here probably think, well, what is she talking about? She's barking mad. But I've got a media film degree. It's crossed. So I'm actually trained in media. I can't say too much. There's nothing sinister going on. And there's lots of rumors going around. There's nothing sinister going on. I feel like we're in a V pandemic though, and because in lockdown I didn't really see many ambulances. Oh, I shouldn't talk about that. I need other people to talk about it. I shouldn't be talking about this. Right, okay. I'm just gonna end it here, I think. And if you want me to talk about stuff, just leave a comment. Thank you. Take care. Yeah, I'll delete this.